Time for the Fox Business Network Business Report, and here with that is Dagan McDowell. Good morning, Dagan.
You are rich. Shut up.
Thank
Not
you.
you. Not you. Not you. I mean Conan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his wife seemed adorable. I like him. I just, why would he do it? Well, they asked him, and he just.
Because people who are famous cannot keep their trap shut. They
Some of them can.
Who?
I can.
Oh, okay.
So.
Despite what you're hearing.
Well, no, I mean, I have a program in which I'm paid to talk, but I'm talking about going on other programs and whining about stuff.
That is true.
That's different.
Exhibit A.
That is true.
So,
Okie dokie.
do you have any news?
Yes. Let's go over the potential economic impact of
And you are
this.
you're a long day at the beginning of the day.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know.
Look at the outfit that I put on for you this morning. It says happiness, sunshine, joy, rather than rage, anger, and that get the hell out of my way attitude.
I'm thinking about poor old Jonas, and I think, oh, my God, that boy is, man, he needs combat pay.
He had to spend the whole weekend with me, too, buddy, 2 days in a row. And I embarrassed him at the grocery store.
What did you do?
I ran 7 miles to the grocery store and was dripping wet like Richard Nixon when I got there. And no makeup on, dirty hair, just trying to buy some sprayed cheese and Ritz crackers for the race. And somebody came up to me and recognized me. And Jonas just looked at me and said, "Get away."
What were you buying?
Sprayed cheese and Ritz crackers.
For the race.
Yeah.
For the race.
Getting
It's
ready.
cheese in a can. It's delicious.
You know, eat that
What?
stuff.
Spray cheese?
Spray cheese.
Man, you are a hillbilly.
You can write love notes on.
Oh, I'll bet you
crackers.
can. I bet you write them on Jonas.
Well, it's a little, it's a little gummy for that.
Hurry up. We're
Okay,
way
all
short of
right.
time.
The economic impact of this oil spill, there are 3 areas to watch out for: the shrimping and fishing business, shipping traffic, and then tourism. And the clearest, most hardest hit area is clearly shrimping and fishing, because you have that area from the mouth of the Mississippi River to the Florida Panhandle that's been shut down. This is where about 1/5 of all of the country's seafood production is. But that shipping lane between the Mississippi and the Gulf of Mexico is still open.
Fine.
And
Good. Thank you.
You don't care?
Yes, of course I care, but I mean, we just don't have any time. We're just, and she's giving all the coordinates of the fishing lanes.
Well,
we just.
It's very
this,
important.
you're as interested in this as much as I am, because I know I've been talking about it all weekend.
Well, we're talking about acoustic switches and other things,
Yes.
and I don't know what the New York Times or anybody else is screaming about. I don't know what the administration was supposed to do
In the initial period.
until they were told what was going on.
Until they got the scope of the thing.
Until the Coast Guard was there. The Coast Guard said we have a problem. At that point, the administration got. What were they supposed to do when the platform blew up? Get hysterical? And I mean, obviously we cared about it, but British Petroleum said they had it covered.
Right. The scope and severity of this spill has only just come to light.
Well, I mean, that's just.
You're right. You're right.
I'm
You
no
were
Hannity.
right.
Of course, he's still asleep, but I'll have to endure emails from him now for my defending the administration. But I mean, you have to be fair about it. It's 25 to Leon. To the Armstrong Morning Program, The Godfather. Good morning, Godfather.
Good morning, Don Imus. There were 2 disasters in the country last week: the oil spill in the Gulf and Jay Leno at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He was whining about, "Oh, gee, wow, what a tough room." Yes, every room is a tough room when you're the least funny person in it. There were illegal alien busboys in attendance who could have gotten more laughs. This man is paid millions of dollars a year to be funny. Instead of making excuses, maybe he should just learn how to act like a man. They say in comedy, timing is everything. Jay picked the wrong time to succhiare il uno grande, suck the big one. Especially when his rival, this fidgety, ginger-headed geek Conan O'Brien, is on 60 Minutes the very next night, proving his case that the network treated him unfairly, in favor of that Java man-jawed, unfunny bastard Jay. I'm telling you, a barrel of dead baby seals is funnier. I do not know why they felt it necessary to hire this humorless Leno for the event. Obama Nooch could have gotten 15 minutes of sustained laughs by just putting that moron Joe Biden up at the podium. He wouldn't even have to say anything. Just look into the crowd with that blank hockey helmet-wearing stare. It would have brought the house down. Still, I'm aware it's not all that easy to perform in front of a crowd of such uptight, unforgiving, apathetic a-holes. As Don Imus illustrated some years ago, when he traspirare come un finocchio smofrioso a un concerto dato che l'anomalia di naso di Tucano. Sweat like a simpering homosexual at Barbara Streisand's concert. But compared to this Leno, he was like Don Rickles at a Friars Club roast. I should have performed in front of that room, or at least made him an offer they couldn't refuse. Laugh or never laugh again. Either way, I would have killed.
Feet on the oil well.
Pretty much.
And Wall Street Journal, big article about they did not have an acoustic switch, which they're not required to have, though they should have. But in this case, apparently, the acoustic switch, will explain what it does, Charles.
Acoustic switch is a football-shaped device about the size of football attached to the bottom of a tender craft, another small boat, and they're able to trigger it and send an acoustic signal down to this thing called the blowout preventer. And if the blowout preventer has not operated as it normally would, automatically, or a dead man switch, a kill switch that can be activated by manual means, and if the rig is blown up or if it has been evacuated for whatever reason.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You sound like Brian Williams.
Okay.
God, I mean, just let me explain it. Because it's so convoluted, you can't understand what you're saying.
You do it.
Okay. If the main switch and the backup switch on the platform cannot be activated for whatever reason.
Right.
If the thing blows up, if everybody dies.
Or if it's been evacuated. There's nobody on there to hit the switch.
Yes, Charles, for any reason it can't be activated.
Then they activate the acoustic switch.
Yes.
It sends a signal down acoustically to the blowout preventer.
Yes.
Which is this huge device.
Oh, God, I had to shut his mic off because, I mean, it's crazy.
You know, if he wasn't sitting next to Stalin in the morning, he could have given a coherent explanation.
Absolutely.
It was so convoluted. It was.
I had about another 15 seconds to go, and I was. But that's okay.
And so our observation is.
What is it?
That.
Go ahead.
Our observation is.
You're a madman.
It doesn't make any. It wouldn't have made any difference had they had an acoustic switch. In this instance, because they were able to throw the main switch and the backup switch, weren't they?
It probably wouldn't have worked, but of course we don't have absolute.
Well, if the main switch and the backup switch didn't work, why would the acoustic switch work?
We don't think that it probably the consensus is it wouldn't.
Isn't the acoustic switch designed to do? Don't do that with your eyes because it makes me dizzy.
What isn't the acoustic switch designed to do? What?
Isn't it?
For God's sake, convoluted. Go ahead. What?
Let me talk. Okay.
Please. All right. The switch. Come on. What? The switch.
Isn't it designed to do what the main switch and the backup switch do?
Yes.
Okay, then
activate the blowout preventer.
Okay, but they already tried to do that, and the blowout preventer wouldn't work. So activating it with the acoustic switch wouldn't have made any difference at that point.
That's the assumption. Yes.
Well,
that's what the assumption. We don't know because there was no acoustic switch to activate.
Does the acoustic switch work better than the other switches?
I don't know. We assume that it probably would not have in this case.
Okay. And then the criticism of the administration, which I think is idiotic. The New York Times and every place else about everything they should have done about the oil slick. What were they supposed to do?
Go ahead. What's your point here? Let's review it for us.
The thing blows up. Okay, BP says we got it under control. We'll try to find the 11 people and so on. There's no leak and everything's fine. So a couple of days go by and say, oh, oops, there is a leak, but the leak's nothing. We'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. So the White House thinking, okay. So then the Coast Guard says, a few days later, no, the leak is out of control. It's 5,000 gallons a second or whatever the hell it is. So then, even by the New York Times' own timeline, then the administration, rolls it Napolitano, and boy, there is. I'm glad she's not going to the Supreme Court. At least I hope she's not. Except then I remember Clarence Thomas was there.
She's fine.
So anyway, your guy, Clarence Thomas.
She's fine. He's fine.
Okay. So I don't know what they were supposed to do. This certainly wasn't like Katrina or like the Exxon Valdez, was it? No.
the only criticism that I can see that might be sustained is that they could have drawn a couple of scenarios. What if this thing gets worse? And maybe been thinking along those lines earlier than they had.
All right, Jenna has some business news about the big airline merger, right, Jenna?
That's right, the merger between Continental and United
What?
this morning.
I said, thank God Jenna has other news.
Well, don't talk when she's talking.
I'm not talking. You're talking.
Jenna continues.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So it is the world's largest airline. It's going to have to pass regulatory. It's going to have to pass regulatory muster to actually become the world's largest airline.
What?
But the deal is expected to close by the end of
neck
this
hurts.
year. You guys all right over there? Do I
No,
need
my
to
neck
separate
is
the two of
killing.
you?
My neck is killing me.
Okay. Well, if your neck is killing you, don't take any children's Tylenol, because this is a story that's been out over the weekend, but it hasn't gotten a lot of play, and it's very important. More than 40 different products from Johnson & Johnson, mainly kids' Tylenol, kids' allergy medicine, anything that's made for your child has been voluntarily recalled by Johnson & Johnson and by the FDA because they think that there might be the wrong ingredients or the wrong amount of ingredients in that medicine, or potentially some metal particles from the place that it was made. No injuries or sicknesses have been reported because of this. No one's been injured, but it's rather serious. And if you have a medicine cabinet, you have kids, you should go ahead and check that this morning because most of those products are being recalled.
Warner's going to thank you, Jenna. She'll have business news throughout the morning, and so will Dagan McDowell, who's coming up. Warner's going to have sports. A 20-year-old kid won the golf tournament.
Yes.
Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch. Wasn't it Kyle Busch?
Kyle Busch.
Yeah, won the NASCAR race Saturday night.
Not Kurt Busch.
Mayweather won the fight.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of other stuff coming up, right?
There is, and I want to ask you this.
Quickly, we're way behind. So
Way
come on.
Well,
Come on.
it's a survey.
Hurry up.
Come on. This is how serious people outside of the United States are taking the World Cup next month.
Yes.
They took a survey, asked people from different countries, what would they give up to guarantee that their team would win the World Cup?
I don't know.
Now look at this.
What did they do?
51% of the people said they wouldn't eat for a week. 40% said they would refrain from sexual relations for a week, for a year, excuse me. And 4% said they would give up a body part if it was guaranteed that their country would win the World Cup.
Quarter after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. Bernie's coming up with a briefing sponsored by P.C. Richard & Son. What's up, B?
Speaking of whining millionaires, bitter old horn dog David Letterman went on Regis and Kelly on Friday morning, and this is what he said. He was whining about his relationship with his wife. Here we go.
You take a look at the explosion, and it knocks you down, and you wake up every morning, and you're scared, and you're depressed and sad, and you kind of got to let that knock you down, and knock you down, and then pretty soon you got to start knocking it down, and then when that happens, you're able to take a look at the pieces left of your life, because you think an explosion has taken place, and you're looking at the shards, and you see, well, can we put this back together?
Enough.
Come on.
What turns you on,
Again,
David?
huh?
Naked pictures of Susan Boyle? What the hell do you like? Janet Napolitano? Answer me.
Well, this is just your opportunity to do
He
research.
does keep us safe. He brings us all together, and he makes us laugh. And from the White House Correspondents' Dinner the other night, here's a perfect example.
The Jonas Brothers are here. They're out there somewhere. Sasha and Malia are huge fans. But boys don't get any ideas. I have 2 words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
This is pretty good. So.
There it is, our president.
13 after the hour. So I'm watching the Fox Business Network over the weekend. And they run promos all the time. And Liz Clayman is coming up, and she's going to interview Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. And before she gets to Munger and all of them, they run this promo. Well, run the promo, Bigfoot.
Monday, Liz gets down to business. It's an exclusive preview of her powerhouse interviews with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates.
It could be the best thing I've ever seen.
On Imus in the morning.
All right.
That's great.
You approve.
Now, who was the skunk who did that, Bigfoot?
I don't know.
You don't know who put that promo together?
I don't know.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
What the promo? What did it do? Did the promo fairy at Fox do it, and suddenly it just and the promo fairy put it on the air?
No, I don't know the specific person who put that together.
Well, who would be responsible for doing that? Don't we have a department that does that?
Yeah, the promotion department does it.
The who?
The promotion department?
So it would be someone in the promotion department.
Yes. I just
Okay.
don't know the exact person who put it
So
together.
they thought they would take my comment about when I was talking about American Idiot, by the way, that I had just seen on Broadway, and use that comment to suggest that I was referring to something Liz Clayman had done or was going to do, right?
You mean you didn't really say that about Liz?
It is 14 after.